So Dave, we all have dreams and some of them get left behind, but in your case, something funny happened when you went to Brands Hatch one day, I gather.
April the 12th, 1970. 13, watched Rodriguez win the BOC 1,000 kilometres in the wet. And yeah, that was the catalyst. I won a 917.
A good old buddy of mine phones me up one day.
I said, guess what I've bought? What you bought then? So I said, I bought a 917 body shell.
That made me take a deep breath, stopped me in my tracks, and yeah, that was the point, I thought. And said, I want one. And so the whole ball began to roll.
Yeah, Piston Heads ran an article on 917 body shell that came from Mr. Piper's car, from David Piper's car. And their article suggested that the only thing you could really do with a 917 body shell was turn it upside down and use it as a canoe. Which, you know, I took umbrage to, I guess. What I did was I scanned the body shell. Yeah, built a wood frame, scanned the body shell, and then surfaced that into CAD. Once you got the body shell, then I could start laying in the chassis positions using all the available little scale drawings out there. Measure the wheelbase, do a scale factor, and then off I went.
Dave's done a massive amount of doodling. We are talking thousands of hours CAD.
Yeah.
CAD model.
Well, that's because of being an automotive design engineer, that's the way I work. We design everything first, and then we fit it to the car. If it had been manually drafted, then it would have taken forever. But using one of the top CAD systems, CATIA, it's just such a fantastic system.
I think it's about 6.5, 7 years, but you know, all good things come to those who wait, as they say. Bit of a sacrifice with time and, you know, money as well, but yeah, if you really want to, you know, end up owning a 917 nowadays, unless you're a multi-millionaire, there's only one thing to do, build one yourself, because the cost of trying to buy an original is just obscene. Not obscene, but out of touch of most people. Bearing in mind I do build quite a lot of Porsche engines, or have certainly done over the years, I feel very pleased that the engine's, you know, on full chat, sounding gorgeous. It's a combination of a lot of work. Having built the motor, stripped it and rebuilt it myself, obviously, you know, to hear it running now and to hearing that sort of noise coming out of it is, yeah, it's thumbs up all the way. My aim was to be able to have a chassis that I could say to people, I can put a flat 12 in. Flat 12 engine and transmission with minimal changes. And because everything's in CAD, if the chassis, I reckon the chassis is within sort of 10, 15 mil of the original on the sides of the engine bay, then it's easy to modify in CAD.
If I were to go and buy an original Porsche engine, like was fitted in the original 917, what sort of money am I talking about?
1.2 million euros currently.
It's great to use on a circuit, but for me, the pose value is driving it on the road. So I've worked through the whole 7 years of the project in involving VOSA, the IVA technical team, when I have a question, They can't tell you how to do it, but they will say, yes, you've got to have this, or no, you haven't. So we've got heated screens, we've done front-end impact, CAE, to assess, you know, if you hit something at 30 miles an hour. We've got collapsible steering columns. Numerous things have been done. Fingers crossed that we get through the IVA and it's road legal. We took the 917 to Bruntingthorpe for testing and a photo shoot for Octane magazine. It was a good opportunity to reveal the original livery.
And like Dave, I think out of all the, you know, most revered of sports cars that have been raced over the decades, the 917 just stands out head and shoulders. Just the shape, the sound, you know, what Porsche managed to do at the time when you think how old the car is, you know, the performance envelope was just phenomenal.
I want to go posing up around Knightsbridge. You know, in May and June, when there's a lot of lads up there with their Lamborghinis, just to be different. So that's one of my sort of silly ambitions.